is, and there's an insane amount of tools that are coming out. It feels like weekly, but there's nobody better in the space to teach you what is happening. Please welcome to the stage, Nicholas.
Oh yeah. I get around.
Good morning. Wow, how awesome was Daniel? That was amazing. What a savage. I think I have an inherent respect for anybody that'll come on stage and use profanity. Yeah, so I'm Nicholas. I'm with a company called Smoke, and today we're here to talk about emergent gaming and the creator economy, real SoFi applications. What is this buzzword salad? Well, we're gonna find out. I go by Ember the MP-CEO. That's my metaversal alter ego. If you were in Web3 gaming, we may have crossed paths. I've been on the gamification Twitter space a whole bunch, or gamified rather. I've also spent 10 years in the content creator market, 7 years in Web3. I've been building products in Web3 for about 4 years now. And I studied gamification with the guys who literally wrote the book, Octalysis and Yukai Chu, if you're familiar. So I like to talk a lot about gamification. We're gonna get into some of that as well. But I'm really here to get into social finance. Can I get a show of hands? How familiar are you with social finance? Is anybody here educated with SoFi? No, oh wow, that's fun. Okay, cool. How about Web3 gaming? Who would consider themselves somewhat educated on Web3 gaming? Nice, okay, more. Yeah, DeFi Kingdoms, of course, man. Yeah, so social finance, I'm not talking about the Farcasters of the world or Lens Protocol. These are social platforms that use blockchain to have more fair and equitable payouts to creators, have more peer-to-peer transactions, kind of cut out the middleman. SoFi, I consider it more along the lines of FriendTech and some of these other platforms where you can, not legally say, invest in other people and share in an upside if their community grows. And I think just even coming out of my mouth, I just hear Ponzi. And that's kind of what I'm here to say today. SoFi is pretty broken. It's not very good. So I am presenting a new model called SoCap, and this is social capital. I have a background in permaculture design. My woman over here actually taught me about the 8 forms of capital that permaculture teaches about, and that is, I'm not gonna go through all of them, but intellectual capital, natural capital, and social capital is one of these, and that is the favors you're owed, the network that you've developed, and the skills that you've developed over time. And I think that social capital is a much better way to look at this whole SoFi concept. So here on the left, you have the gamification model that Octalysis and Yukai Chu have defined. This is all about human motivation. And so the words circled in green are intrinsic motivators, what they call white hat motivators. That's ownership, accomplishment, meaning or epic meaning and calling, empowerment. And then the red circle and scarcity are the extrinsic motivators, what they call black hat motivators. These are much more hit on the dopamine receptors. They're short-lived, but they're pretty impactful, but they die out pretty quickly. Social influence, clout, unpredictability. We all know about volatile markets. Avoidance, that's like FOMO, and scarcity, keeping something very limited tends to increase the desire for it. But the problem with SoFi and social finance is this is mainly running on extrinsic motivators. So people come in, spend money, expecting to earn some more money. They are playing into the FOMO. They don't want to miss out. They want to get some clout by investing in the guys really early. And this has been this new model for the creator economy that people have been really excited about, especially this summer. But it is zero sum. It's always a PvP game. People are going to lose money if somebody else is making money. Social capital takes into account the intrinsic motivators and more white hat motivators that are longer lasting and have more of an impact. And so in this model, it's positive sum because while some may be trading monetary value, others are gaining intrinsic value. This is more sustainable. So how does this tie to emergent gameplay? What even is emergent gameplay? Well, if you're a gamer, you've probably experienced this before. Emergent gameplay is the pinnacle of game design. This is when the gamers in your game are taking the mechanics that you've developed and crafting their own unique experiences that you never had foreseen. They're creating intrinsically valuable experiences by exercising their player agency, their freedom, and their creativity. And this has formed gaming empires. If you're a gamer, you're familiar with Dungeons & Dragons, Halo, Legend of Zelda, Call of Duty, and all their custom game modes. These games have built legacies and have increased their retention among every other game out there by tenfold, and I think it's through emergent gameplay and these intrinsically valuable experiences that gamers get with their friends playing these games in these custom modes. So can it increase retention for other industries? I think it definitely can. And can it increase retention for content creators and other companies using the blockchain? How can we activate emergent gameplay on the blockchain? Well, the cool thing is emergent gameplay relies on player agency, which is just freedom and creativity, and persistent data. Usually in games, that's just within the game world or maybe on a piece of paper if you're playing Dungeons & Dragons. But with the blockchain, we all know we can enable digital ownership and a public ledger in and offline. So how is this already happening in Web3? There's a few really amazing groups out there that have shown this, they're really good examples. So if you're familiar with Azuki, anybody know Azuki? NFT project? Man, that's surprising, only 2? Okay, Azuki's massive NFT project, 10,000 NFTs, they're like anime characters. Most of these characters have traits, and these different traits have different scarcity levels. So the traits that had very rare, had low scarcity, they had this spirit trait. The people that bought these NFTs ended up forming this group called Spirit DAO. These guys are now have their own mission, they have their own purpose as a community online. They are like the biggest whale group, the biggest alpha group in NFTs, and they really move markets. So this is a community that formed. Azuki had no idea that this was going to happen when they minted their NFTs, but this community got together, created their own purpose, created their own mission. Merit Circle is the second one, that orange circle. This was a community that formed out of the birth of Axie Infinity, one of the largest play-to-earn games in the space that uses blockchain in their game. Merit Circle was a couple of guys, they got together, they bought up a bunch of their assets and started renting them out to other gamers, primarily in Asia and the Philippines, because they're pretty expensive, so they gave an easy access point to these new gamers. They rented them, they taught them how to play the game better and earn more, and then they took a cut. It's called the scholarship model. Axie Infinity had no idea this was going to happen when they released their game. But because of the data interoperability of the blockchain, the public ledger aspect and digital ownership aspect, this entire community, which I think the market cap of Merit Circle right now is like 500 million, was able to form because of the blockchain. Wolves DAO is another example. I'm a member of Wolves DAO. It's a 300 group Web3 gaming DAO. It's actually off-chain for the most part. It's a private Discord, but they just recently introduced a soulbound token mechanic to their community. Soulbound tokens are basically NFTs that are non-transferable. They typically represent some sort of attendance or accomplishment. Have you ever heard of proof of attendance protocol, POAP? That's similar, kind of an early concept of a soulbound token. Wolves DAO just did this soulbound token mechanic where if you bring value to their community 5 times and you earn in their Discord what they call a meat token to be on brand, you can earn this Wolves DAO SPT. This soulbound token was really just kind of a representation of membership and creating value in the community for a while, for maybe the past 6 months. But then just recently, we started seeing some of the biggest Web3 gaming projects, upcoming projects, whitelist these SPT holders, airdrop tokens to these SPT holders, or airdrop NFTs to these SPT holders. But why? I mean, Wolves DAO had nothing to do with that. They didn't coordinate with these guys to do that. But Wolves DAO have proven themselves to be high-value individuals in the space, have a high-value network, have contributed skill sets to their community, and to also they've proven themselves to be holders of assets and movers of markets. So it's highly incentivized to airdrop assets to these members of this community because they've proven themselves on-chain as valuable community members and skilled community members. Another example is Swoosh. This one's a little bit less emergent gameplay, but It does kind of get at some interoperability aspects of Web3 and the blockchain, especially when it comes to gaming, that for me are really exciting, and then you can kind of start to see how more emergence and more creative mechanics can happen. They have blended on and off-chain experiences very beautifully. They did a Fortnite UEFN creative mode map. Fortnite's a massive video game. That's not Web3 at all, by the way. They released this map. If you completed the map, you finished the game mode, you got to mint this NFT. Once you held that NFT, they started releasing physical assets, Nike merch that you could then go and purchase. They then announced a partnership with EA Sports. If you had finished that map, got that NFT, minted or purchased some of their merch, now because your asset was marked as having all those accomplishments, you now could turn it in for a Madden piece of gear in the next NFL game that EA Sports launched. So you can kind of start to see how marketing gets really upgraded, and the content creator economy can really start to benefit from data interoperability and digital ownership. And a lot of this is running on social capital as well. Like I said, valuable community members proving their worth in their skill sets and their network and being rewarded for it. And that's really where the creator economy ties into this. Up to this point, content creators don't have a way to identify what we call superfans. I know that's a buzzword, but I'll very clearly identify what a superfan for you is. My little 15-year-old brother, he's a big gamer. He, about 2 years ago, somehow, I don't even know how, snuck into my parents and my bank accounts. He got our credit card numbers, and he went and spent $750 on Twitch to give it to his favorite Twitch streamer. Literally just gave $750 to this guy for seemingly no reason. After I talked to him about it and got my money back, I said, why did you do this, Zach? He wanted to be recognized. I don't even think he knew why he wanted to do it, but he wanted to be recognized. He wanted to feel like he was a part of this content creator's brand. He wanted to help build the brand and maybe have an opportunity to do that himself because he's very passionate about this. Not only that content creator and what they're doing, but the gaming world, the content creation world. He wanted to kind of up-level his skills and have an opportunity for this new network that he saw within this content creator he followed. So he went the lengths of stealing money from his family, which, by the way, that content creator is now one of our partners. It was a really amazing full circle moment, but that's a super fan. And with SoCap and the blockchain, we now have opportunities for content creators to identify their superfans and reward them proportionally to the rest of their community, catalyzing their brand growth and sometimes sharing incentives with those superfans. So this allows for value creation-based loyalty programs, verifying people's skill sets, verifying their network, and ultimately creating positive sum relationships with the content creator, their audience, and clients of that content creator or brands that want to hire that content creator. So, envision, and these are a lot of gaming-focused examples, but you can really apply them to any industry. Again, Fortnite's a massive game. They often release what's called skins. This drives their economy. It's a microtransaction economy. It's a free game, but they kind of drive players to spend $3, $4 on a skin. They often release skins of their largest content creators. For example, one guy named Ninja was one of their biggest content creators who had 18 or 19 million followers on his stream, consistently watching him play Fortnite. So they released a skin based on Ninja, and everybody could go and buy it. Now imagine a world where Ninja's largest fans that had contributed value to his community and helped build his brand with him got to get that skin for free, got to download it for free. This is where we start seeing that increased retention, not only for Fortnite, but for the content creator as well. Imagine running giveaways that are weighted more heavily to value contributors, right? Instead of equitable fairness for everybody, but maybe one person has only popped in the Discord one time and not really spent a lot of time, he's just tossed 10 bucks in. But another person has made fan art, they've made videos, they've talked about it with their family, they've talked about it with their friends. Now we have a way of increasing their chances of winning that giveaway by 2, 3x. Or imagine ensuring better results from contractors based on interoperable data and community claims. So this is that soul-bound token point. Especially in this digital age where we're starting to see Everybody's an entrepreneur. Everybody has a side hustle. So many people are hiring individuals online, whether it's through Upwork, Fiverr, Telegram, right? Any online platform. Now we have a way to verify skill sets and achievements cross-platform to ensure better results when you're hiring somebody individually for a job. And that's where I see this heading in the future. Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum, in his paper that he co-authored with the Microsoft founders on soulbound tokens, he envisions blockchain as coding social relationships of trust. And I really loved this vision. I foresee soulbound tokens and SoCap creating a world where people, especially an online world, where people are valued more for their skill sets, their network, their energetic contribution to different communities, as opposed to their net worth or the followers that they have on Instagram. Also, I think, and Daniel just touched on this will become essential as AI starts to become more proliferated across the internet. This will become more essential, again, as we're hiring more individuals online. We can have a more effective and efficient hiring process. This can also help combat catfishing and botting across platforms, especially if you're a brand or you're a game or you're a Web3 brand in the space and you're hiring a content creator to make a YouTube video about you, write a Twitter thread about you. Nowadays, you can bot that instantly. I know so many accounts that have 100,000 followers and get 10 likes on their posts. They're botting it. They're paying for it. And a lot of the times, we're kind of blind to that happening in the background. Blockchain and the data interoperability layer give us new insights into these types of content creators so we can ensure better results and a more equitable future. So that's it. That's me, Nicholas Hildebrandt. Again, our company's name is Smoke. This is my Telegram. Please scan me, message me. I'd love to chat with you. We are actually raising a pre-seed round right now. So if you're an investor, come introduce yourself. And yeah, that's all I got today. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Yeah.